just going to see a brush of a tropical storm. We're going to see some gusty winds. Yeah, we're going to see some squally weather, but more occasional squalls rather than widespread flooding rainfall. And that is the great news. And as we move forward, we'll be watching this action throughout the day tomorrow, going into tomorrow night, and conditions improving after Monday. We'll get to that in just a bit. First off, let's take a look at the big picture across the lower 48. And again, lower 48 in the Gulf Coast, that is. Dry air continues to filter into this storm. It's already wrapped around to the eastern side of the storm, and that's really cut off the deep tropical moisture off to the east. But we'll watch this center overnight tonight. But that dry air really saving the bacon and pretty much keeping this a lopsided tropical storm with most of the weather, most of the wind going to be just north of the center and then all to the east of the storm, but we'll get some action here locally. Flood watch is in effect eastern Louisiana over to Florida, but not here in Acadiana. That is the good news. And we did see a few tropical showers, some of the outer rain bands, some of the outer effects of Cristobal back across the area this evening. And tomorrow we're going to see a lot more action probably by this time tomorrow night, more than likely sooner than that. It's going to be probably a busy afternoon. And by the way, we'll be doing hourly updates, live hourly updates tomorrow, and as needed as this storm moves inland, and maybe more than that if we have trouble, but I'm not expecting trouble. All the big convection over by Florida, as we mentioned, tornadoes over there this evening. Meanwhile, here's our center of our tropical storm, not looking too terribly organized at all. No convection on the western flank of this system. No change in the wind status nor the forecast track for the most part. Grand Isle landfall sometime midday tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon. And again, National Hurricane Center just keeping a slight intensification trend in case those storms fire up later on tonight, and the pressure hasn't changed at all as well. Tropical storm warnings continue. Vermilion, upper, lower St. Martin Parish, Iberia Parish, and St. Mary Parish, and points to the east all the way over to Florida. This is where tropical storm force winds and the best chance of squalls will be. And as we take a look at the radius of those tropical storm force winds, here we are right by Grand Isle, just maybe to the west there. Again, your gusty winds greater than 39 or sustained winds greater than 39, maybe Morgan City, half of St. Mary Parish, maybe edging into upper St. Martin Parish, and mostly the basin part of Iberia Parish. So this is just skirting us off to the north and east, and that is the good news. As for storm surge, we're not going to see any on the Acadiana coastline. Water's going to come up a little bit over southeast Louisiana, more so eastern Louisiana, where we'll have those easterly winds, and then over toward Mississippi and Alabama, we're up to a 3 to 5 foot surge is going to be. But when winds turn around out of the south, and that's going to be Monday, mainly Monday, that's when the water is going to come up along our coast. It's probably going to come up to about 2 to 3 feet. So keep that in mind as we head into Sunday night into Monday. So here's the wind. Oh boy, yeah, the computer was a little slow here. Let me back it up, just show you the wind forecast here. So it's going to be a breezy day tomorrow. These are wind gusts, not sustained winds, gusting up to 20 to 25 tomorrow afternoon. Then we start to see some 30s and 40s developing later into the afternoon and into the evening. No, it's much worse to the west, 60, maybe even 70 mile an hour gusts over toward Mississippi and Alabama. So again, a lopsided storm, mostly a north wind, and then you'll see some of those gusts picking up any now and then when we have a squall involved. So no max gusts higher than 50 shown in Acadiana at this point, although it could push that down towards St. Mary Parish early. And you can see the system making land, going well inland. Winds turning around out of the west and then out of the south as we head into late tomorrow night. As for rainfall totals, looking interesting. This just came in. This is the latest RPM model through Monday evening, and 1 to 3, 2 to 4 looks good. Isolated spots could see more depending on where we see those different squalls setting up, and unfortunately we bypass the forecast model, but you'll get the idea. I'll kind of show that to you if I can at the end of the show. So rain chances perking up to 70% tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, and then as we look ahead down the road, rain chance at about 90% tomorrow night, 70% still on Monday, still some squalls in the area, and I'm going to post that model that we just skipped over coming up a little bit later on. But you can see after Wednesday, some good looking weather ahead, nice and dry, especially at night. So that'll be the payback for having to watch this particular storm. But again, a lot worse eastern Louisiana and points to the north and east. That's it for weather for right now. We'll be right back right after this.